I want to move to Europe, I want to be tax resident in one of the European countries, but I have my bloody LLC running my business from abroad, from United States most likely, and I have to deal with local tax authorities. How do we do that? I'm going to explain you in this video the best way to keep running your LLC in United States while tax resident in one of the European countries when it's possible and when it's not absolutely possible to keep it. My name is Andrea Papitto and this is ESENtaxa. Here we explain how to relocate to Europe and pay less tax possible, fully compliant with the local laws based on the local European countries, and we also help our client to optimize their taxes, to squeeze their taxes down, to planify their long-term relocation in Europe and understand how can benefit from the most unfamiliar tax scheme and tax regulation that are not so common, are not known by the majority of the people. So in the description below the video I want to remind you that we have our email contact info@esentaxa.com and our calendar link if you want to book a consultation straight with us and ask us 20 minutes, 1 hour, 2-hour call. And I'm gonna announce in this video that soon we are going to release a new product, and this new product, it's called ESENtaxa Academy. So we are going to prepare, we're going to release a full portfolio of online courses for those who want to understand finally how the international tax system works, how to run a business in one of the European countries, how to be a digital nomad, etc., etc. We're going to create for you several online courses that allows you to learn finally all about the taxation in a very easy manner before talking to any accountant, any local accountant or any tax advisor, in order to have a grown-up level conversation and don't waste the precious time that you're paying for your consultancy. Now, going back to the topic of this video, I want to just talk about the famous LLC that a lot of people, a lot of clients are bringing with them while moving to Europe. We have this classical scenario in which you are, for example, a digital nomad and you have opened the famous LLC in the United States, running your online business. This is the classical scenario that doesn't work if you're moving to Europe, if you're relocating one European countries. Why? Because any European countries, some countries are more aggressive than others. Let's say some tax authorities are more aggressive than other tax authorities, that's true. But in general cases, it works that if they see you running an online business, why don't you open a local company? Why you have to keep open your LLC? And the local authorities might think that you are just keep running your LLC abroad just because you want to skip paying taxes. Okay? So this is not the way you're doing correctly. There are some exceptions, by the way. You can actually keep your LLC running in the United States, for example. I'm just taking the United States as an example because it's the classical one, it's the most used one. It's the most used jurisdiction for LLC, It's the most useful jurisdiction for this kind of businesses. So you can keep this company if you're not the one that owns the company, don't have the majority of the shares, because probably the rest of the shares are owned by somebody that lives in the United States, for example, and then it's perfectly legal to keep your LLC also as an online business. Or you have a physical shop, a real business with some substantial economical existence, and even if the place of effective management actually is not in that company, it's still accepted by tax authorities in Europe. So be careful about this point. Whenever you have a foreign company, it's not just on LLC, but whenever you have a foreign company and you're moving to another jurisdiction and you become tax resident, make sure that you're running a real business, a physical one abroad, because if you are running an online business, you have to turn your foreign company into a local one. This is the classical example, and this works especially in countries that applies the worldwide taxation. If you're moving to a worldwide jurisdiction that apply the territorial taxation, this concept is not really applicable. But in Europe, almost all jurisdictions, basically all jurisdictions by default, apply the taxation on residence, and this taxation is on worldwide income. It means that they want to tax all your worldwide income, and if you're running your business from the country that you have chosen, from that territory for the majority of the year, and you're running a business with a just a formal foreign company, they won't consider this as a foreign company. So you have to reincorporate it locally, you have to repay back all the taxes, and VAT is gonna be a nightmare basically, plus fine and interest for the delays. Another point that has to be taken into account when you run an LLC abroad, let's imagine you have the rights to run your LLC abroad, you are in the scenario where the LLC abroad is perfectly fine. What about the taxation? So if you don't find in the local jurisdiction a nice taxation and good tax rate, you want to keep your LLC because you keep paying taxes in the United States. Actually, an LLC could be a pass-through company. It means that the profit goes straight in your pocket. And means that when the profit goes out from the United States and goes straight to your pocket, you're subject to the taxation in which you're basically change the tax residency in the European country that you have chosen. And how does this European country taxes your profit from the LLC when the LLC is not a C Corp but a pass-through company? For those who knows very well an LLC, they know exactly what I'm talking about, because the LLC in the United States could be in the form of corporation, so you pay the corporate tax plus dividend, or a pass-through company where the profit goes straight to the shareholder pocket, okay? Just to make it simple. So in this situation, how the jurisdiction which you moved taxes this profit? Well, this is also something that has to be checked very carefully, because some jurisdictions, they apply this income as a dividend. For example, Italy applies the 26% dividend tax on the income coming from an LLC from abroad. Belgium, for example, applies totally different way of taxing. Actually, Belgium applies a particular way of do not tax at all your LLC, okay? Because there is a specific convention in which Belgium applied the exemption with progression system. So as you can see, each European jurisdiction has to be very carefully analyzed, not just because you need to see how much taxes you're going to pay in general, but also to see how much taxes you're going to pay on your LLC that produces income from abroad, if the LLC is still valid incorporated abroad, because in certain cases we have to close it and reincorporate the business with a local company. And there are other jurisdictions in which, if you know exactly the way of applying certain tax regimes, under certain scenarios and under certain tax regimes, you can switch from worldwide taxation towards territorial taxation. And what does it mean? It means that everything that you run abroad, even if it's online, is totally accepted. This works for Spain, for Italy, and for other jurisdictions as well. As you can see, you have plenty of ways to keep your company abroad, your LLC abroad, under certain conditions that we have to analyze together in the consultancy. Here in the description below the video, you have our calendar link, 1 hour call, 2 hours call if you want, or a tax simulation, and we also can check with you the convention to avoid the double taxation to see how the country that you have chosen in Europe treats and tax your LLC that you have kept abroad and that you want to keep abroad, if this is possible for this scenario. So every scenario must be checked carefully. It's a case-by-case scenario analysis. I hope I was clear. It's not so simple to squeeze all this concept in this video, but in the ESENtaxa Academy we are going to explain you this in very details if you want to learn more about this kind of concepts. Thank you for having watched this video, and see you to the next content. And don't forget to subscribe, like button and notification bell to be always updated whenever we release this kind of content.